Ring bases are back, and whilst this will send a bunch of you into a panic, I've got the perfect army for you to crush these ring bases. Using this army, I got 11 triples in a row in high legends, and 9 of them were against these pesky rings. If you wanted proof that I did actually get 11 triples in a row, here it is. This army is insane. And now time to show you these ring base replays. This is an extremely common base at the moment because it's set up to be anti-lava loon, which is perfect for us. Now, one downside of my army, I'll get into it now, is I only bring one wall breaker. So if you find ring bases with closed walls, you have to do this. But this isn't a problem. I don't mind waiting at all, and they're not under any damage. So I use the wall breaker in the middle. Then on the bottom side, we're going to send the Witch Golem and Titan around. So in case you don't know how to deploy this army, because we did recently do a video on it, a Witch Golem and a Titan on either side of the funnel, then everything else down the middle. However, in this attack, I do use the Siege Barracks on the bottom. Normally I spam it in the middle with the rest of my heroes. The reason it's on the bottom is to help deal with the heroes, because the wizards can reach over the walls. But let's get to our main push here. You see we use the rage spell, and we are taking a lot of damage, but this army has so many hit points. You'll notice I actually use a jump spell to get my troops to the defensive queen, because you don't really need a second jump on this base. All the troops are on the town hall. They are taking a lot of damage. You'll notice the town hall does so much here. But all these big boys have to do is tank for just long enough for our heroes to go through. Our king's doing a huge job. That's a poor freeze. I was trying to freeze the Eagle Artillery. Thankfully, the Queen takes it down. And then essentially with this army, it's all about figuring out where you want to send your RC. So I didn't want to send the RC on the bottom side here because these troops have got it covered. They don't need the Royal Champion to help. Whereas if I send the RC up on this top side, that will definitely help the Queen out. Then I'm using my last rage spell on the RC. I don't recommend this every attack, but the RC is incredibly important in this, because you'll find with this army that it starts to die out towards the back end of the base on rings. That's just how rings work. But the Royal Champion has a really easy time on ring bases. All the skelly traps are in the core of the base, and your RC should be able to roam free. The Queen is barely going to live here, so actually, never mind. It looks like this is close, but I mean, we've got a half-health Titan, we've got a Yeti, and a big boy over here, all roaming the outside of the base. The RC is still up. Like, that is a triple if I've ever seen one. So we take down one base, but I took down 9 of these in my little streak. So let's get into those as well. This right here is the example of a perfect base, because it is open on all the corners. So what does that mean for us? It means we don't need to beat through the outer walls. Now I actually decide though to use a log launcher with this one. Now normally I'd use a siege barracks, and the only times I would use a log launcher is to open up the walls, but I'm not trying to open up the walls here. Just have a look at these logs. If they go through, they can take down the monolith and the eagle, and those are 2 priority targets for this army. So I figure, why not do that instead of the siege barracks? But the siege barracks would have been fine here if you decided to use that yourself. We spread our witch golems and titans out, so there's actually 2 down here, but technically that one's in the middle. Use the skelly spell. If there's no multi-infernos nearby, use the skelly spell all the time near the monolith. You can't let that lock onto your troops. But yeah, look at this monolith. Skeleton spell and the log launcher together. It gets no value, and that is huge for us. We've got the jump spell there. I know those walls are open, but trust me, a lot of these open walls are to make your troops path really weirdly. So using the jump spell, I mean, where else am I going to use it in this attack, right? So I'm better to use it there. Obviously, I use the jump spell on the back end here. That is the other obvious location. Now, I decide to use the RC with my main push down the bottom, because this is the main push. She'll get the help of the Apprentice Warden AI. Never mind, he just... Aura, but he just went down. But the Warden Aura will help, and yeah, this base got wrecked. And all open ring bases like this get wrecked by this army. I mean, this isn't even close. Try calculate the amount of hit points or troop space up on this battlefield at the moment. Just ridiculous, and this army is easy. All of you watching this video, you can all pull this off. There is nothing I did in this that's insane. There was nothing I did that was like, oh my lord, this guy is crazy. I just deployed 9 troops and watched the base disappear. This is the worst nightmare for this army. A double rage ring base with enclosed walls. So what do we have to do? It's the same as all the other ones. Just use the Witch Golem and a Titan to beat on either wall. And then you'll have both sides of the funnel. And then we're going to come through the middle. Now, a couple of things worth noting with this army. One, you would much rather come in on a side than like on a corner. What do I mean by that? Like your main push come through the side of the base rather than the corner like this, because it's a lot easier to funnel like this and this so that your main troops go in. Then like if you come in on the corner, you need to funnel a greater amount of buildings, not on this top side, but definitely on the bottom. So you always want to come in on the side. And why did I pick this side in particular? It's because A, the Monolith and the Eagle are really early. I want to get down those defenses as early as possible. B, the Town Hall's further away. Generally, I find with this army, the further away you start from the Town Hall, the better. Which sounds counterintuitive, but trust me. And the last one is because of these Rage Towers, right? I'd much rather deal with the 2 Rage Towers at the same time, because I'll just pop my Warden ability through it. Whereas if I came in from this side, we'd deal with this first Rage Tower, like all these defenses would be raged, and then, you know, maybe I pop the Warden. Then by the time I get to the back end, all these defenses are raged as well. So deal with both Rage Towers. The same with Poison Towers. You'd rather deal with 2 Poison Towers at the same time than one after another. Hopefully that gives you guys a bit of an idea of like how I'm coming up with my plans. Worth noting, by the way, so I do use the Wall Breaker for the main funnel, but I am bringing the Yak with my King in this army. So if you don't have a wall break for your main push, use the Yak. The Yak just goes through walls like they are butter. So I'm just being really patient on the funnel here. We've got the Witch Golem and the Titan, and they're going to do fantastic work. Then any second now, I'm going to put the Skeleton spell down. Notice I place it out of range of the 2 Multi-Infernos, and it's going to do a great job just completely neutralizing the Monolith. I do use the Siege Barracks down the middle here. I didn't really need it for a funnel. I want everything to go in the core here, and we're going to overwhelm it. Look at this funnel, by the way. Almost everything goes in. The King comes back right now. That is like one of the best funnels I have seen, and it's why this attack works really well. Pop the Warden ability early. Normally with this army, you want to pop the Warden ability through the Town Hall, but not here. Those freezes come in slightly early, because my troops were still invincible, but I use all 3 at the same time because I refuse to take any more damage from these rage defenses. Just freeze them all at once, and then once they go down, this base is toast, and I mean, it is already. We've got the jump spell out of the base now. Not many troops are going to make it out of the base, but this is where the RC is so good with this army. She clears up the outside ring of defenses. We've still got a Queen ability. The King's doing his thing. There's still a Witch Golem there. I can't believe the Witch Golem is still alive and going well. Oh, this hit is so good. Now, unfortunately, this is the only rage tower, like double rage tower replay I've got in this video, because everyone's running double poison at this moment. I've proved here that double rage can work. It is tougher, but it can definitely work. But it's not really the meta at the moment, at least in mid to high legends. This army I'm using today is extremely simplistic in the sense that it is literally, look at the troop bar. It is 4 troops long, 10 troops total. Really simplistic. However, one of the problems with this army comp is you don't have multiple wall breakers, right? So the toughest part of planning for me is just how to figure out on bases like this how I'm getting inside the base. As you see here, I wall break on the top side so one of my funnels can go in, and then we jump in the middle slightly higher than center because we've got the wall break on the top side. But if you want to be able to bring, say, 3 super wall breakers, then what you can do is drop 1 Titan, which is fine because you've got 5 total in the army, including 1 in your siege barracks. Just drop 1 Titan and bring 2 extra super wall breakers, bring a headhunter and 2 wizards. That army's honestly probably better for Legends League, but I find like this army comp's just more powerful overall. But yeah, if you want less of a headache in terms of Legends League, then definitely bring that army comp. But I'm showing you this one today because, well, this is the army comp I enjoy. Yet again, I'm coming from the side that goes straight into the Monolith and as much damage as possible. I want to deal with it early on. We also deal with 2 Poison Towers. Well, we should be dealing with 2 Poison Towers at the same time, but we aren't really as much as I was hoping. 1 Poison Tower went off and then the other did. Warden is sitting so far back. I pop him right now. Yet again, I don't wait till the Town Hall goes down. That is You know, in a perfect world, I would, but I needed to pop it there. Our troops were under a lot of damage, and now it's just about figuring out where the majority of your troops are on this bottom side for me. RC's on the bottom because the top side of the funnel was already cleared out, and now it's just about using your freezers on the back end. You should have at least 1 or 2 freezers for the back end of the base, and I mean, look at this. We're just bullying this man. Now, the king is a pain here, and he will take a lot of, he will try and take a lot of our troops down. But, I mean, the buff to the big boy is so noticeable. I was using this army before and after the balance changes, and I can tell you what, it is so much more powerful now. But yeah, if you're not convinced, I don't know what I can do to make you convinced at this point. Like, I just feel like I'm bullying all these ring bases of people who think they can stop Lavaloon, but aren't ready for the Witch Golem Titan Smash. Another great base for this army. You can see they've got the open walls on the corners, and we are going to take advantage of that. I used a jump spell on the outside of the base because what's the point in then using a wall break and then having to jump over one wall? Better to just use the jump like this. Now, worth noting, if you remember the second attack from the video today, I used a log launcher on this similar style base to take down the monolith, and this time I used the siege barracks. Both of them work. There is not necessarily one better way to do it. Completely up to you. But yeah, this hit's going to go really bad because of this defensive king. Look at how many of my troops get pulled outside the base. It actually could have been worse. They could have gone further outside. So I'm glad I hung on to the wall breaker. But I mean, there's just not enough DPS on a base. Look, my queen is just chilling on the top side. She's still getting tanked for by a witch golem. I keep freezing for her. All the troops are on the bottom of the base. I rage there. Now, this jump seems stupid, and, well, I'm going to be honest, it is. But my whole thought was, I don't want the troops to go outside here and not be able to come back in. Although, yeah, look, I'm just going to accept it. It was a dumb jump. Let's mock me and move on. I finally used my Warden ability. I mean, this hit looks like it's gone awfully. I'm tell you what, it's going to go better than most of the other ones. Unfortunately, if I saved my jump and went straight into the eagle, that would be perfect. But this is why we've got the yak. The yak is just an absolute menace. Bang. Oh, hits the walls hard, and then we use the rage spell for the royal champion. And that is the video for you all. Look, Lavaloon's not as powerful as it was before. You can still do well. I'm averaging about 280 with Lavaloon at the moment, so it still definitely works, but I got a perfect day with this. I got 11 triples in a row with this army. I tell you what, I'm really enjoying this and can't recommend it enough to you all. Now, if you want to see another video that we've already done with this army, I will link it on the left. I should have linked it earlier in the video. It's called the highest hit point army in Clash of Clans history, because that's what this army is to me.